a graduate of Santa Barbara City College. She's also a colleague and friend to me. She's the district attorney, Joyce Dudley, and she'll be talking to you about sexual assault. I want to tell you a little bit about DA Dudley. She began her career in the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office in 1990. She has prosecuted well over 1,000 cases in her career, including murder, arson, robbery, burglary, crimes involving sexual offenses, crimes against children, hate crimes. She believes deeply in criminal justice, and more importantly, in my mind, social justice for all. I want you to give the Honorable Joyce Dudley a big welcome to Santa Barbara City College.
Thank you, Dr. Beebe. I am and have been a prosecutor of sexual assault crimes for over 25 years. I am also the proud mother of 4 happy adult children, all of whom had very active social lives while they were in college, all of whom began here. Therefore, I will tell you at the outset, I am not here to interfere with your active social life. I am here to educate you, to enlighten you, and hopefully to interfere with your willingness to make decisions that can ruin the rest of your life. As Dr. Beebe told you, I have prosecuted well over 1,000 cases, more than I can remember. But I can never forget a single sexual assault case, simply because I can't. I can't forget because I know those involved are still haunted by what happened, a few of whom could best be described as the living dead or the walking wounded. Some of them are victims, some of them are perpetrators, and some of them are even bystanders. Bystanders who wish they had taken some, or perhaps more, action. I will spend the next few minutes telling you about one such victim, one such perpetrator, and one such bystander. I will alter the facts in order to avoid any possible identification. For some of you, for a variety of reasons, these events may be too hard to hear. If you feel that way, again, for any reason, I hope you will feel comfortable enough to step out of the room and come back in 10 minutes. First, the victim. The victim was a young college student who rarely went out. But one Friday night, they went with a few friends to a party where they drank, laughed, drank some more, and danced. Later, when 2 guys offered to give the student a ride home, the student went with them. Once in their van, the 2 guys suggested they stop at the beach, and the student agreed. They got to the beach, parked, and drank some more. The student passed out. They then poured alcohol down the student's throat. Next, they pushed the victim into the back of the van where they began their sexual assault. When a witness who was parked a few cars away finally figured out what was going on, they called 911. When the police arrived, they found the assailants in the front of the van, and the victim passed out and naked, lying in the back. They had to use a sternum rub to wake the victim up. I was told the victim, now survivor, didn't remember a thing about what happened. And I thought that sexual assault survivor was one of the lucky ones. I was wrong. That day, I learned recovering from a sexual assault is even harder if you don't know what happened. Every morning when I wake up, the survivor told me, for the first second, I'm okay. Then I get an ache in my heart, in my gut, and then there's this darkness. Because I don't know, because I know something terrible happened to me, and I just don't know what. Can you please tell me? I couldn't, because I couldn't contaminate the testimony. I then told the survivor I'd let them read the trial transcript after the trial was over, and I'd answer any other questions they might have at that time. Who covered me? The survivor persisted. When I woke up in the van, I had a blanket over me. Can't you at least tell me who covered me? I want to thank them. But I couldn't, not until the trial was over. Clearly, that victim wasn't raped because of any action they took. That victim was raped because of the actions of two rapists. Now the perpetrator. He was a 19-year-old university student. He was both charming and charismatic. Everyone I later spoke to said he had a very bright future ahead of him. During the night in question, he went to a friend's, went to their house, he drank beer, he smoked some weed, he began to feel a little hazy, and at some point that night, he started making out with the girl sitting next to him on the floor. Soon, they got up and went into a nearby bedroom. They laid down on the bed and started kissing. He started taking off his pants and then hers. He ignored her protests. She froze and started to cry. He kept going, and she quietly sobbed. Shortly thereafter, he kissed her goodbye and left. As he was walking home, he felt nauseous and guilty. He knew he went too far. He knew he made a terrible mistake. He hoped he'd gotten away with it. His bright future ended that night. The next morning, instead of going to class, he was arrested, taken to jail, and then sent off to prison. And now, a bystander. A young woman was walking down La Playa in Isla Vista when she recognized another woman from one of her classes. That woman had one arm over the neck of two guys as they walked down the street toward the beach. As the young woman walked by, she thought that woman looked really wasted. The next day, in class, she learned that woman had been raped on that beach. As far as I know, that bystander never forgave herself for doing nothing. I've been doing this work a long time, and it still brings me to tears. And let me suggest to you, if any of you decide to go into this business, the minute you stop caring, please get out of this business. Some events are too traumatic to ever forget. At best, you just learn how to live with them and learn from them. Why am I here today? I'm here today because I believe each of you can learn from the painful events I just described. I truly believe that. That collectively, you can be the class that makes the difference. You can be that. The class that ends sexual assault in your time, in your great educational institution. That can be you. For many of you, today is your first day of college. For all of us, today is the first day of the rest of our lives. And you know what that means. You know what that means. That means it's on us. So please, say it with me. It's on us. All of you tell me this. It's on us. 2 more times. It's on us. It's on us. It is. And thank you.